real niggas gon' tell, nigga. Time will reveal who was real. Only time will tell. Trust me, my nigga. Only time will tell who's the best rapper in Satan's hill. And time will tell will the cheating sell in this music shit. Cause ain't nobody spit quite like me no more. It's a damn shame, so put out the industry on the curb. Cause have you heard hip hop is dead? Sell out, bitch, rest in peace. When I hear a beat like this, I just can't resist. Interpretation, sensation, through rap, build motivation. Still scribbling about an intergalactic cosmo flow. From the golden age, that was way before niggas became slaves. And time will tell what niggas stay true to the streets. I'm always supplied to heat when I speak to my peeps. The lost G, trapped in the foul last nation. With slave plantation information, be the highest education, predicated on so much hate. Time will tell, the soldier always has a real shit to say. In this music game, and time will tell who's the best poet in hell. Time will tell who's the best poet in hell. Time will tell who's the best poet in hell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. I step out that prison cell, live life well as a rich nigga, making 7 figures and more than third nigga. Stepping out the shower on the marble floor at my penthouse with all kind of whips setting pretty on foes and big spokes out front of my king palace. And fuck you malice motherfuckers who don't want to see a real G living good. Time will tell that we gotta shake that motherfucker hood mentality, shake that slave mentality. Time will tell Kevin Hart is not that funny, he just sell out for the majority. And time will tell that shit you see on TV ain't real, or punk ass reality show. And time will reveal Whitney Williams is a hoe who talk too fucking much. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And time will tell it reveal Bill Cosby ain't take no pussy. And time will tell. And time will tell it reveal Bill Cosby ain't take no pussy. And time will tell. And time will tell it reveal Bill Cosby ain't take no pussy. And time will tell. And time will tell it reveal Bill Cosby ain't take no pussy. And time.
Bill Cosby wasn't no predator. He liked white women married to a black woman. He did some wrong stuff, but he didn't do what he's in jail for doing. No, Bill Cosby is not to be invoked in this discussion. Don't put Bill Cosby with Bryan Singer. You can't put Bill Cosby with Harvey Weinstein. Bill Cosby took advantage of the free sex and drugs of the 70s with white women, and so they quaaludes. That's what they did, and they had drugs and they had sex. He shouldn't have done that. But that ain't Harvey Weinstein not just mandating the casting couch, but physically raping women. No, they aren't the same. That's not Bryan Singer,
right? Who
is notorious. When you, for those in the know, for us, we associate Bryan Singer with X-Men. For Hollywood, they associate Bryan Singer with twinks. You know what a twink is? From Twinkie. That's how they describe it's a term for a particular type of young, blonde-haired, hairless boy who's disposable, sexually attractive, but has no nutritional value like a Twinkie, and is easily disposable. Bryan Singer is famous for his twinks and his twink parties, the gay parties of Hollywood. No. The real freaks of the industry aren't Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, though they have committed crime. But that's the point.
Black Power, people. Streets Watching TV back with another powerful video, informative video, a video of hope to enlighten and broaden your horizons. Y'all know this is part 2 to the Bill Cosby saga. Let me tell you something, black people. The white man, the Iceman, the beast, don't do nothing
without a particular outcome. They don't do nothing without a reason to bring a particular outcome. The way the white man's moving now, he knows that it's time to rule over darker people of the planet is at a short time. So he got to create situations, to prolong his stay. This is why we living in the pandemic. Black people, pay attention. Don't let this divide you. Even though I know for a fact they set Bill Cosby up. He's an innocent man. But not so innocent. Because once you get in bed with these people, they can use all kind of rituals to torment you. Especially when you behave and go against the grain of which they told you not to go against. Once you take that blood oath with these people, Bill Cosby, you have to pay the piper for being an unruly slave. And that's what's been going on with Bill Cosby. See, Bill Cosby has never been a dumb nigga. Nobody makes it to where they at being dumb. Nobody makes it to where they at being a coward. Bill Cosby tell jokes, but you don't know the nigga. Remember Tupac say, you don't know the nigga in 3D. You don't know the nigga up close and personal. We don't know what type of nigga Bill Cosby is. I know one thing we can say, that he's not a rapist. His name has never been brought up into no rape allegations until Bill in the late 90s, early 2000s, want to entertain the thought of owning NBC. Bill Cosby always thought big. Issue niggas who think little. When we was getting chastised for using the N-word and pull our pants up and clean ourselves up and change our image as black people, we looked at Bill as a house nigga. Like, what is he talking about? Same niggas, when Bill Cosby came to our high school, I heard about it. They was calling him all kind of Uncle Toms. But the same niggas that talked about him are living an Uncle Tom life. Niggas that I know that criticize Bill Cosby for telling the black man and woman to change up and clean up a little bit. We couldn't take that coming from our uncle, our big brother, our grandpa, our fucking dad. Bill Cosby always been a dad, and that was him. That was him, the Huxtables, that was him. That's what kind of nigga that you dealing with. Oh, but the white man, he doesn't want that image of black people on TV as doctors. Different world, black people going to college. These are Bill Cosby's crafted, successful sitcoms that came on TV. They want to kill that image. Bill Cosby have another agenda to put this image of the black man and woman on stage as being who we are, who we really are. Some of us are scientists. Some of us are lawyers. Some of us are doctors. We're educational people. At the same time, we do have a custom of being in the ghetto. We do ghetto things. We do black stuff that we forced to do. Indirectly. Not forced directly, but indirectly. Like you got a government who create what they call a project. Now we living in the projects. And they want to watch us eat off each other. They create ghettos, poor slums for black people to live in and watch us eat off each other. They create those situations. What the fuck is the world talking about? So Bill Cosby got in trouble with how black people are being viewed. But see, the white man has an agenda. And Bill Cosby doesn't know the agenda was to emasculate the black man here in the future. Bill Cosby is going against the grain because he want NBC, not part ownership, because he couldn't get the directors and the big people at top to make movies and sitcoms putting black people in a high esteem light. So Bill Cosby come up with the idea of owning NBC. See, that's the thing. The government doesn't want black people to own a major network. See, because you are influenced by what you see and hear on the television. And this is why the mainstream media, ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, they all would talk bad about Bill Cosby. And all those people, black that look like me and you, who work for these machines, they're going to be trained to talk bad about Bill Cosby. So be careful, black people. Don't let this divide you. 60 white women? Bill Cosby raping 60 white women? A black man? Think about it. 60 white women in the 60s. All the way up to the 2000s. From 1965 to 2008, using Quaaludes. And I think they stopped making Quaaludes like 40 years ago. Think about the wild stories that you hear. A serial killer doesn't even get away with 60 victims and not be caught. At least at the 20th victim. You mean to tell me Bill Cosby raped 60 women and got away with it? A black man, a serial rapist in America, a black man? When black men at the hit of a white man lying, saying that a black man raped a woman, a white woman, at the accusation of a white woman saying a negress raped her, don't you know they will have lynch mobs lynch and kill that brother based on lies? So you trying to tell me a black man, Bill Cosby, got away with raping 60 white women? Maybe a couple of black women in there. We know Beverly Johnson lied. She jumped on the bandwagon, the model Beverly Johnson. She jumped on the bandwagon. Y'all don't remember? And she got exposed, but that went on deaf ears. 2004, y'all. I got 2014 mixed up with 2004 in video number 1 on Cosby Release. I said that Andrea Constant continued to date and talk to Bill Cosby in 2014 after the incident. I keep getting it mixed up, I'm sorry. 2004 is when this incident's supposed to happen. She's not reported to 2005. What I'm saying is she kicked it with Bill Cosby. What I mean, they exchanged Valentine gifts and talked on the phone, texting each other and everything. But in 2005, check this out, y'all. 2005, she had this dream, and it triggered her in a dream that Bill Cosby raped her. I'm telling y'all, this is the truth. Go read the documents. She had a dream. Okay, this happened in 2004, but they got text messages between these people after then. Bill Cosby's dirty. What I mean, he's dirty, sleeping with these white women when you have a black queen at home. That's what he's guilty of. That's what he's guilty of. But you know, when you're a celebrity, I don't care what you do. You're a celebrity, you're just a rich old man, young man, whatever. Women gonna be attracted to you because you got money, and that's just the way it is. So Bill Cosby in his young days, you know, he was talking about Quaaludes and Spanish Fly out in the open because that's what they did. That's what people did, especially in Hollywood. Bill Cosby must be senile. He should have kept that. I guess he had to say that and tell what's going on. Because in Hollywood, that's what goes on. Y'all heard Cat Williams talk about those mansion parties that he went to and saw that gay stuff and all that crazy stuff in Hollywood parties. Y'all don't understand Hollywood because y'all ain't been there. But they got people coming out who used to be part of the industry. Jaguar Wright. She's came out and said some things about the industry. David Chappelle, Cat Williams. DMX said a lot of things about the industry. And that's why DMX is dead to this day. Irv Gotti need to stop. He said the family called him and told him that DMX died of a drug overdose, crack laced with fentanyl. Who is Irv Gotti working for? Because that's not the scenario. That's not what really happened. We know COVID-19 vaccine was administered to DMX. We don't know if that's the cause of death, but we know that DMX had an X on his back for exposing the music industry the way he exposed it. It's just a matter of time that they catch up with you. You think you're exposing them when you lay in bed with these people, this is what happens. Y'all saw Bill Cosby used to throw up these and throwing up these. Y'all think that's just a game. Y'all think that's a joke. The people that run this world are really wicked. Bill Cosby's guilty of cheating on his wife. 2005 is when Andrea Constant reveals what went down. So I just don't understand this, man. And you know, it's easy to see through. Our people just brainwashed to believe what the mainstream says. Just like R. Kelly's case. How come R. Kelly didn't go to penitentiary and didn't face jail time in the 90s for committing that crime? There's no way you could alter a fucking birth certificate to allow Aaliyah to marry you. That's a crime. But when you're making this money and you rubbing shoulders with certain people in Hollywood, they made that go away. But now it's time for him to pay the piper because he done made somebody pissed off. They don't got no new tapes on R. Kelly. They got nothing new on R. Kelly. They using his past against him. He done pissed somebody off in the entertainment business. Same way with Bill Cosby. He done pissed somebody off being a black man. Trying to show black people a different image, and he's willing to go out on a limb even if they're at the death of his son. Yeah, his son was killed by these powerful people, this machine that I'm talking about. In 2005, after experiencing a nightmare, a flashback triggered Andrea Constant to come up with a notion that Bill Cosby raped her. Even though in 2004 she hatched this ideal and told her friend about it. Her friend testified at the first trial. I do believe. One of these trials, they didn't let her friend come in and testify for Bill Cosby, what she said about setting Bill Cosby up. Nevertheless, Bill Cosby was set up by a hired machine. And this is why this machine would keep pushing the narration on ABC, NBC, and all this bullshit that Bill Cosby was guilty. Only way he got out on the technicality, there was a whole bunch of range of misconduct in the courtroom. You got jurors living next door to the judge. You feel what I'm saying? You got staff members now work as court staff who used to work at Temple University with Andrea Constant. We do believe that the wife of the judge works at Temple College the same people and the same lady who took Bill Cosby's degree. Now they done took his degree because of this whole situation. This got nothing to do with his degree. Okay, since he done put all these millions in the Temple University, can he get them millions back? I bet you he get them millions back. See, this whole court procedure was kangaroo court. Now, if you got Bill Cosby to the T, why is it that the judge, in this case, wife, is a Temple University staff member who takes Bill Cosby's plaque, degree? I don't know how you take a nigga degree, a nigga that went to school and got a fucking degree, and you take it. That's like motherfucker taking O.J. Simpson's trophies. History is made, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. History is our best teacher. I don't give a fuck. O.J. still broke records at USC. We know that's present in our motherfucking mind. We think about USC, we think about goddamn O.J. Simpson. So that's some stupid shit. You know, you can't take Bill Cosby's degree. He earned it. But that's what they did. I'm just saying the whole case should have been where it was at. You know what I'm saying? Then they bringing in allegations from people who can't prove that they was raped 30, 40 years ago. 1965 to 2000s. We don't hear nothing of you people. Y'all been raped in the 60s. We just not hearing from you motherfuckers because y'all been paid by the machine. Bill Cosby pissed people off because he's on a way of some type of way of obtaining NBC. Y'all know what kind of programs he could have been putting on NBC? To have a television program, that's a call to dialogue for war if you need to go to war. All you gotta do is put it in people's head using your broadcast. See, the government knows that they can easily manipulate people through the media. And that's crazy for black people to have a major network. You know what I'm saying? A major network. Because most black people are infused to be brainwashed and cohesive what is being transmitted from the mainstream media. Whatever they display, niggas believe it. Even in commercials, subliminal suggestion to go buy a particular car. The government has studied this, that what they show on TV influence and brainwash the masses who watch the fucking idiot box. That's why I only can watch TV to a certain degree. I can't watch too much of it because of the brainwashing. It's good to watch it and see through all the holes, through all the signs and symbols that it suggests. You know, I can't watch movies with people who's being fed hogwash, and I can't give them the symbols of what's going on without them getting irritated. So I just shut the fuck up. People get irritated when you expose anything that white supremacy does. Black people get irritated because we train to love our enemies. I don't know if it was the religion or what. I don't know. I mean, we've been having black psychologists trying to break this down. How can you get black people out of a Stockholm syndrome behavior? To, you know, you believe your oppressor over somebody might telling you the bold truth. See, a lie, it looks good because a lie is most of the time dressed up. You know, if a nigga in the middle of the street butt naked tell you the truth, you ain't gonna listen to that nigga butt naked. But if that nigga dressed up real smooth, got a nice double-breasted suit on and shit, some gaiters on and shit, got the bling bling on whatnot, he could lie to you all day because you admiring his motherfucking suit. But that nigga over there naked tell you the truth, you ain't paying that nigga no attention because that nigga naked. You don't want to see that. And that's how the truth is. You niggas don't want to see the truth for what it is. White supremacy lied on Bill Cosby. Your ass gotta be slow as a goddamn tortoise. You gotta be rigor mortis, my nigga, dead in the fucking brain to not be able to see through the bullshit. out of nowhere, these women start having nightmares of a black dick raping them. I got no sympathy because they paid. They are paid. And I don't have no ill feelings towards real women who are being raped. We got real women out here are being raped. And this is why they don't believe the real rape victims, because this Me Too. But and listen, they got Bill Cosby at the height of the Me Too movement. So you know that's a lynch mob like conviction. These motherfucking Me Too movement motherfuckers, this shit happened way before they even came into existence. These motherfuckers outside the courtyard, like how black men used to be in the motherfucking jail cell at a local motherfucking neighborhood where a white woman proclaimed she got raped, and then the mob be outside like, let us in, or we gonna come in and kill the nigga, or we gonna kill you, let us in. There'd be a mob lynch attack. That's how the Me Too movement was on Bill Cosby. Think about it. They got him at the height of the Me Too movement. How can you get a fair shake out of that? Then you had that racist DA, Kevin Steele, who was a prosecutor in Pennsylvania. He told motherfucking racists in Pennsylvania, he told the world, if y'all elect me to district attorney, I'll get that nigga. I'll come up. Not paying attention to the clause that was in the former DEA that if the brother gets a disposition into a civil matter, then you cannot bring criminal charges against Bill Cosby. See, when Bill Cosby made that deal was supposed to be honored. But like I say, misconduct. Misconduct with the judges and prosecutors in this case is why Bill Cosby is at home. There was other things that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court seen, but y'all not elaborating that. You know why? Because you're getting it from the mainstream. Not only that was violated, all kind of things is violated. How the fuck the judge and the same lady that took down his plaque of degree in Temple University is the judge's wife? How is it that the jurors living next door to judges? How is it that a juror was allowed to stay and have Bill Cosby convicted when the jury said, look, we've been here all day. Let's just find him guilty. Let's get out of here. And that juror was allowed to stay on post? What kind of shit is this? But no one is hearing this. There's other factors why Bill Cosby is at home. Anytime you do an appeal, it's going to be more than one hole in the case. For you people who do not know nothing about criminal justice law, in each appeal, in each case, even people that are really guilty, when you go and do the motherfucking research, it's always where someone makes a mistake in the courtroom. Misconduct. But you gotta have a lawyer to point it out, to make them do their fucking job. Because the state and the feds, they know it's misconduct in the transcripts. But that's not their job, is to let the defendant out and point to the defendant where they was wrong at. This happens in 99.9 in cases. 99 time, it happens in each case. There's a hole in each case. Bill Cosby made some people mad in Hollywood. Hollywood is a big rape, pedophile ring. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the entertainment business. People protect certain people. When certain people make certain people mad, they throw them out, feed them to the wolves. Kevin Spacey. But Kevin Spacey told him, look, why's Kevin Spacey ain't doing time? He touched a little boy. Kevin Spacey told him, y'all go ahead and convict me, and I'm going to tell about the big old pedophile ring in Hollywood. See, we don't believe that our favorite entertainers, and a lot of them are really rapists. Bill Cosby is not. Harvey Weinstein been knocking women upside the head like a caveman, taking pussy. But he made somebody in Hollywood mad, and they fed him to the wolves. All these famous people, and this is why Jeff Epstein is dead. All these people in Hollywood visit his fucking ranch. Fuck you talking about? Donald Trump visit his ranch, and y'all kept talking about Donald Trump. Oh man, he's getting rid of all the pedophiles. He's draining the swamp. What kind of swamp he draining when he participated in grabbing women pussies? Do y'all remember that? You motherfucking Negroes talking about, oh, I'm gonna make America great again. America has never been great for us, you dumbass Negro. You run around with make America great ass motherfucking hat. Donald Trump telling you motherfucker, we trying to bring slavery back. And you got YouTubers talking about they pro-black. They out there marching with Donald Trump. I ain't even gonna say the nigga's name. You feel me? But this Bill Cosby thing is trying to divide black people. This should show black people if they can get Cosby, they can get anybody. 60 white women took that money. Beverly Johnson got exposed. The only reason why she got exposed because her manager said, you never told me that Bill Cosby drugged and raped you. You told me his wife was at every brunch every time y'all had a meeting in New York. So you mean to tell me that Camilla not on charge? Camilla is not on charge, but Camilla Cosby, I hope I'm saying her name right. His wife is not on trial for adding the bed. No, Beverly Johnson admitted that she was paid. She was paid to lie on Bill Cosby. See, this shit thick. Same way with Michael Jackson. It's been instances when Michael Jackson, someone in hierarchy in an entertainment business or one of these Jewish people who run the world, some sector wanted Michael Jackson out the way. They wanted him dead. Michael Jackson went to war with his record company, Sony. When you fall out with people like that, all kind of incidents happen. Same way with Prince. You get in bed with the Illuminati or with these ruling class people, they make you pay when you be an unruly slave. And only bootleg niggas know what I'm talking about. Since a lot of bootleg niggas, they know what's going on, but their job is to make you think that black people can achieve the same fucking status that they're on, but you don't know to get to certain particular arenas and money, you gotta do a whole bunch of demonic shit. You know, R. Kelly was pissed on by the fucking Illuminati. That's an Illuminati ritual. If you don't believe me, look it up. So, not to make any excuses for R. Kelly and his behavior, for urinating on women, I don't know what kind of sexual satisfaction that is, that's sick, but the ruling class for the record deals and make a certain amount of money, R. Kelly was pissed on in the ritual. And he was just went crazy and demonstrated that same thing on these females. But that happened in the 90s. We don't know this new stuff they got on R. Kelly. I don't believe it's real. I think he done pissed off people. He can't make money no more. And he stopped giving people money. See, when you can pay people money, everything is cool. All the parents of these little women, when they was younger, they older now. They was 16 with R. Kelly when he was 28, 30. And y'all let y'all daughters 16 be with a guy 30. With your consent, and he paying you money, and now you're not getting money anymore. You need to be in a jail cell right next to him. The parents of these girls that R. Kelly so-called raped need to be in a cell right next to R. Kelly. See, because the first time somebody up top let R. Kelly go, yeah, he should have been convicted. He should have been convicted. But this new stuff, it's made up stuff. And this is how they do you in Hollywood. When you're an entertainer, making that one kind of money, these people come shut you down. Y'all think it's a conspiracy. Yeah, it's a fucking conspiracy. It was a conspiracy to get black people here 9,000 miles away from Africa here to America. It was some type of motherfucking conspiracy to take your fucking language. It was a conspiracy to make you speak and do things other than yourself. It was a conspiracy to make you hate your black complexion. It was a conspiracy to make you hate your black ass lips. And you hate being black, now you fucking Indian. Your people was already here in America. You had nothing to do with Africa. In fact, you believe America is the motherfucking place of humankind now. Cause you so fucking brainwashed, you hate Africa. But we know America don't even get hot enough. Even South America doesn't get hot as Africa to be the birthplace of man. Fuck out of here, man and woman. What's fuck wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you guys that think like that? You know what I mean? Fuck out of here, man. When Bill Cosby was interviewed in New York by the chief police named John Norris, he told Vanity Fair, he said, Bill Cosby was a straight, real man. He took him to be honest, and he wasn't evasive. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't evading questions, looking straight in the eye, telling him everything. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Castor, that's why he didn't. Bruce Castor, the district attorney, that's why he didn't prosecute. Erica Conster, she told a lie. You know, she told a lie, man, you know. It was all about money, all about NBC, and I don't care what people say. Bill Cosby is now guilty of rape. Don't put him in the category with a rapist. That dude's still America's dad, black America's dad. Streets watching. Bill Cosby ain't take no pussy.
Bill Cosby's conviction was overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. We remember that he was convicted in 2018 of sexual assault, sexual battery, and he was sentenced to 3 to 10 years. He had served over 2 of those years, and it looked like he was going to serve a lot more because during the whole trial, after the trial, during his time in prison, he was basically uncooperative in terms of expressing any guilt, expressing any remorse, expressing anything that would intimate or have someone conclude that he was actually guilty. Right. And so he actually said that, listen, I'll do the whole 10 years in here before I admit to anything. So it was looking like he was not going to be released at the 3-year mark. So, you know, and it needs to really be mentioned that Bill Cosby is an older gentleman. I think he's 83. He's blind or almost blind. He can't see anything. So, and if you see certain pictures of him when he was in prison, he was looking pretty bad. He still looks distinguished when they clean him up and when they present him in court. But in reality, he's not doing so well. So the Supreme Court the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania overturned his conviction. And there were basically 2 points that they were talking about. The first point had to do with allowing witnesses to come into his trial and talk about what he did to them. And this is something that even a lot of attorneys were like, hey, you know, this is a terrible practice. Because what happens is, let's say that you're accused of violating a woman. And so you're on trial with this woman, we'll call her Rebecca. So you're on trial with Rebecca. And you guys are going hot and heavy about whether you did it, whether you didn't do it. And honestly, your life is on the line, right? But then during the trial that you have with Rebecca, Tracy comes in. And Tracy testifies that 20 years ago, you did this to her, you did that to her, you violated her. So now your defense team has to turn its attention to Tracy. And they start going back and forth with Tracy. You know, well, were you ever arrested? Was there a police report? Were you accused of anything? Were you indicted? Was there a trial? Were you convicted? So then you start getting into all of this detail about what happened to you and Tracy. And look what's happened. Do you see what's happened? Now your trial with Rebecca has turned into a trial between you and Tracy. So what you really have is a trial inside of a bigger trial, right? You're on trial for violating Rebecca, but now inside of that, there's this issue of whether you violated Tracy. And the prosecution did this 5 different times. You know, they had Tracy come in and cry in front of the jury, talking about what Bill Cosby supposedly did. And then they had another Sarah come in, and Sarah said he did this and he did that. And then, you know, they had a Jessica come in and you did this and you did that. So what you have was all these individual trials inside of a bigger trial. So that was the first issue. You can imagine how prejudicial that is. Like, you're sitting there trying to convince a jury that you didn't do something against one woman, and then the prosecution brings in all of these other women. Wow. Stating that you did this against them, and there's no proof of it. It's just their words. That's the whole thing. And it's so prejudicial, because if the jury that's sitting there, and they, you know, let's say you're getting tried for Rebecca, you know, the jury says, well, you know, there's not a lot of evidence. You and Rebecca kind of he say, she say, I don't know. But then they bring in Tracy, and Tracy starts telling everything that you did. And the jury's like, wow, you know, Tracy was pretty convincing. And then right after Tracy gets up, they sit Sarah down in the witness chair. And now Sarah's talking for hours about what you did, even though there's no proof, no police report, no evidence, no DNA, no violation kit, there's no nothing. But now that Sarah's testified and Tracy's testified, the jury's kind of like, man, you know, maybe you did do something to Rebecca. And then Jessica comes in, and Jessica says all of what you did. After 5 times, the jury can be like, well, if he did all of this to 5 different women, then he probably did it to Rebecca, right? And that's why it's so prejudicial. And so that was one of the errors that was brought up in the case, in the appeal that landed in the Supreme Court. The other error, and this is what actually won Bill Cosby his freedom. The error was about this alleged agreement that the prosecution had with Bill Cosby and his attorney. So what are we talking about? Back in the day, in 2004, there was a woman named Constant, and there was an alleged incident that occurred. And it occurred in 2004. Over a year later, in 2005, Constant went to the police and said he did this and he did that and the other. And so the prosecution, the state got involved, the police got involved, and they charged Bill Cosby with the crime. But then when they were actually looking at it, they were like, ugh, I don't know if we can win the case, because it was he said, right? Number one. Number two, she had waited, the alleged victim had waited for over a year. So they thought, well, I don't know if she's that credible, because how is the jury going to believe that she actually waited this long? Also, she had given a lot of statements, and some of the statements were not that consistent. She had made some inconsistencies in all of her statements. And again, with there being no other evidence, there wasn't any DNA or anything like that, the prosecution did not think they could win the case. But, and also, of course, there were all these other women, but they didn't think that they could get the testimony from the other women into his trial. And so the prosecution said, listen, we can't get Bill Cosby unless he confesses. And it does not look like he's going to confess. So we have this alleged victim, this Constant. How can she get justice if we don't think we can win a case? And again, they were not going to try the case if they didn't think they could win, because prosecutors are all about their conviction rates. They're about these numbers. They want their conviction rate to be high. So this is what they said. They said, listen, if we can't get her justice on the criminal side, at least we can get her some money. We can help her in her civil suit. She had filed a civil claim and she was asking for millions of dollars. So this is what they did, and this is important. They issued a press release stating that they would not they would not charge Bill Cosby for anything related to that incident. Why did they do that? Because if they did that, then Bill Cosby would have to testify in the civil case. Because again, the whole goal had shifted from getting Bill Cosby into prison to making Bill Cosby give up the bag, right? To making Bill Cosby give up the bag, right? To making Bill Cosby give up the bag, right? To making Bill Cosby give up the bag, right?